Welcome back to Periscope for Entrepreneurs. And in this video, we're going to be discussing growing your Periscope audience. Now, if you are engaged with your audience throughout your broadcast, it's likely that increasing your following is going to do some things for your business that you couldn't do otherwise. For instance, growing your Periscope audience will mean that you'll probably grow your sales and your customers. There's no guarantee with that, but you will have more people to know, like, and trust you. And so when you do make offers and you do bring offers before people, they're more likely to be familiar with you, they're more likely to trust what your recommendations are, and they're more likely to buy. You are likely to grow more audience, a bigger audience, and more fans. And what that means is that when you have webinars, when you have events, you're likely to have people that are going to come because they're interested in you, because they are familiar with you, because they have connected with you. And these are going to be the people, audience and your fans, that when you put out content, they will share that content on their social media outlets, on their social media followings. So having a big audience, having lots of fans, having people who like your content, that's very important. And when you have a growing Periscope audience, these are the kinds of benefits that come to you. You're probably going to have more prospects. You're going to have more people that are not necessarily going to be ready to buy when you first make an offer to them, but because they're hearing your content and because they like connecting with you, they're going to be in position so that when they hear the right offer, they're going to be ready to buy. So growing your Periscope audience by getting people to like you and be familiar with you will help you to do all of the things that put the metrics that end up growing your business in the right direction. So you want to use Periscope and you want to make sure that it's increasing the reach that you get to more people across more social networks that you would not have reached otherwise. Now, social media experts suggest there are 3 basic ways to grow a Periscope audience so that you get these benefits. First, you want to make sure that you're notifying everyone on all of your social media channels. And when you do that, you want to be specific about stating times. So in other words, if your broadcast is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, make sure that you state it in specific time. Make sure that you state it in Eastern Time or Mountain Time, or all of the various times that people are going to be visiting you around the world. In most cases, you're going to want to make sure that you mention the GMT time. This will eliminate confusion for people to try to figure out when they need to be in your broadcast, when they're going to be able to catch you. You want people not to leave that to chance. You want them to know exactly when your broadcast is going to be so that they can be there. Now, second, you're going to have the opportunity to name your scopes. You're going to name them ahead of time. Now, what you have to remember as a marketer is that you don't want to name this by chance, and you don't want to name it based on the content you're presenting. You have to write your titles. You have to write your your entryway in a way that's going to entice people to want to come to it based on when they see it. And so you have to use the basic rules of copywriting. And that basic rule is you want to communicate what people and how they're going to benefit from your broadcast. So in terms of trying to write a title, you want to keep your title short, yes. You want to make sure that you're specific, but most importantly is you want to err to the side of making sure that you talk about what's going to benefit your audience rather than what they're going to get in terms of content. So again, these are basic copywriting rules that you want to follow when you're writing your titles, when you're writing what people are going to see in order to decide on whether or not they're going to actually come to your broadcast. Now, in a related sense, you have the opportunity to use hashtags because Twitter, as a language, uses hashtags. So you want to use that Twitter language in your title. So you also want to try to think about copywriting rules. Can you write a hashtag that, again, communicates benefits, but you also want to be thinking about what are effective hashtags. So in other words, what hashtags are people really following? What hashtag really brands you, so that even if it's not a popular hashtag, it can become one based on the fact that you're using it and you're branding yourself in that way, as well as trending hashtags when they're relevant to what it is that you're doing on your broadcast. So again, the whole title, and social media experts recommend that you take that seriously. You don't want to overthink it. You don't want to spend a whole day trying to write a title. But at the same time, though, the better you can write that title, the more likely you're going to be for people to find the title, the more likely you're going to be for people to click on the title or to choose the title in order to attend a broadcast. Now, third, do your scope broadcasts on a regular schedule. And you want to treat them like serial programming, treat them like cliffhangers. So in other words, when people know that they're going to be able to come to a scope on a regular basis, same time, same place, and you treat it as if it's a cliffhanger, that they've got to come to the next broadcast in order to find out what's really next. So you've got to leave clues, and we talked about this in the previous videos. You have to leave clues, and you have to leave trailers and breadcrumbs that give people a desire to come to the next one. So you should be seeding that next Periscope broadcast throughout throughout the Periscope broadcast that you're doing right now. Okay, make people want to come back. And of course, now related to that, when it's relevant, the more often you scope. Now, this is not a concrete rule, but in general, most social media experts agree that the more often you scope, the more that your audience is going to grow. People like momentum, and people like to see that this is going to be something that they can rely on. So again, if you have the discipline and you have the ability to scope daily, then do that. There is a benefit to that, and your audience is likely to grow. Now, as a bonus, there's another. Attend the scopes of other people, other Periscopers, and share their broadcasts. When possible, when you're there, give them likes. This is the kind of activity that, number one, people will feel as if they have to reciprocate in some way. And so, no, you don't want to always take the influencers and go to theirs and expect them to do for you. But when you have people that are sharp in your niche, you have people that are giving good value, attend their broadcasts. Be a good neighbor. Do unto them as you would have them do back to you. So really take seriously when people are giving that kind of value, that those are going to be the kinds of things that you want to pass on to other people, that you want them to know about, that you want to share with other people. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.